Hello and welcome to Pencil with Poppy. This is session number 3, the cube. In session 1, it was an introduction to me and to show samples of my work. Session 2 was the line. It was a review of how to begin drawing. This is session 3, which will be a look at lines and shading of a cube. If you want to see the previous sessions, please look in the box below and check there for links. Okay, let's talk about the cube. This is the one that I did in the last session, and tonight what I've done is make a little paper cube so that you can see what we were drawing from. Here's the cube, and then about that same angle would be something like this. So I've got one source of light, and you can really play with a cube to get a sense of as you get further away from the source, the shadow starts to get larger. As you get closer to the source, the shadow gets smaller, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But there's the back side of the cube and how that shadow might work. So let's talk a little bit about what makes this shadow work. This is in light, the top is. This is your casting edge, the edge that is creating the shadow. There, there, there. What happens is the light comes from the direction that it's coming from, and in this case it looks like it's making about a 60-degree angle from here to here. So if you follow each one of these pieces, you can extend that line down at 60 degrees, and it's the same on all of those casting edges to create this casting plane down here on the bottom. And where the base is where the shadow starts and stops, and this plane would be in shade, this plane would be in shade, this plane is in light, and then this is in full light. Okay, so let's draw a cube. I've got the pencil that's been freshly sharpened, and just like before, we're going to chisel that point. It's probably making the camera shake. So I've got a nice little beveled edge on my pencil. And we're going to start with the top of the cube. The cube's falling apart, but at about an angle like that, and it creates a little diamond shape on the top of the cube. So we'll start out with that diamond shape, and we'll make sure to use the same process as we did before, the hit, go, hit, overlap corners, and fuzzy line. Maybe throw in a professional dot or two. And so that's our little top of the cube shape. And then we'll go to the vertical lines, and it doesn't matter which one you start with, but you just want to make sure that they're parallel with each other. And then we'll go down to the bottom of the cube and try to make it look like all the sides are equal. And there we have the layout of our cube. Now, as we discussed before, the way we draw the shadow, we're going to cast it, and in this case we're going to just do a straight horizontal line. I'll do it sort of lightly just to get it set up. There's a hidden corner back here, so I'm going to extend this out from there. And then I'm going to pick about a 45-degree angle here and just keep that same angle on all three pieces, and then connect the dots. And that is about what your shadow would look like. So the top of the cube is light. This is in just a little bit of shade, and then I'm going to make this the most shadowed. So I'm going to give this a tone from 0 to 10, somewhere around 7 or so, and then I'm going to gradual value change it back to about 3 on this corner, and then I'm going to make this side a little bit lighter, maybe start it around 4 and then bring it down to 0. And I'm going to make a dark shadow here, and maybe that's the darkest part of the drawing, is right here on the base of the cube. And then I'll set it on a tabletop or something and just throw some lines in for what the top of the table would look like. And then a lot of times, if you really want the top of that cube to stand out, you can throw some background almost as if it were a sky, and then make it darker as it comes into the cube so that you create more focal point there. And then you want a definite separation between the cube and the background. So I'm just making a layered background here so that the cube stands out. And that's our cube. It's probably not my favorite cube of all time, but I think it at least will teach you how to do it. In the future, I'm going to talk a little bit about trees, and I pulled this out just a couple minutes ago. This is a foreground tree, a middle ground tree, and a background tree, and we'll go through that next. So I look forward to showing you. So until next time, learn it, master it, and share it. Thanks.